For England, the national team, I know they always underperform. That's not good.
Oh, and you're forgetting your cup.
Oh my god. Yeah, right. I know.
Guys, this is page 3 from the homework. Go ahead and get that out, please.
Amen. Amen.
Try to grab it from the basket. Oh, drink to that.
You don't need to.
Amen.
I just like this bag better.
Hi, Jaden.
I'm forward.
Please get out your notes. And your pencil. You probably won't need a calculator today. But
Oh. Yeah? I'm sorry. You got food? I have food.
all right. Almost there. Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna start. You're gonna look at page 5. It's already turned in the homework, but from yesterday's homework, I was going to go over a couple of problems. If you guys want, so raise your hand. The first thing I see is the one that I call on. Which problem would you like to see me do? Okay? So,
Wait, huh?
number 7. I'm going to look at the numbers 20 and 4, so the coefficients 20 and 4, A's and B's. So this is one where I've got a fraction. That means we can use the quotient rule. So if we're using the quotient rule, if we're dividing, what are we going to do to those exponents? Who remembers that from yesterday? Leo? Subtract them. Yeah. So a to the 8th and a to the 2nd on bottom, take the top exponent, subtract the bottom. So a to the 8 minus 2, that's going to be a to the 6th power. B, we see how there's just a b right there, that's b to the 1st. So b, because they're the same letter, power of 2 minus 1, which is b to the 1st power, or just b. And then, last question, what am I going to do with the 20 and the 4th? Do I subtract those two? Jason's saying no, and Leo is saying yes. So, who do I trust?
I got you. I got you.
Guys, this is a fraction, right?
Yep.
There's a big bar right there. What does that bar mean? It means divide. So am I going to do 20 divided by 4 or 20 minus 4?
Just don't open
20
that cap.
divided by 4. Yeah, so that's going to be 5.
Don't.
A to the 6th,
Don't.
B to the 1st, and that's your answer. Jason. Questions on 7? Dan, does that make sense? That's it, or you just? Okay, good. All right, anybody else? I'll do like 2 more maybe. Leo? 9. All right, and then Layla? Okay. Okay, so first I am going to look at the letters inside, because you always want to start solving inside the parentheses. So I see a fraction there as well. Are we going to subtract some exponents this time?
Yeah.
What? No? Why not? They're in parentheses. So we could do a quotient rule, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could, Chase? They're not the same x and y. Yeah, there's not any same letters. So since there's not the same letters, we can't subtract any exponents. We need the same base to make that work. So we can't simplify anything inside. But I do see that 3rd power on the outside. And if you look back at the notes I posted yesterday, if we've got this power on the outside, we're going to use that power of a power rule, multiply the exponents. It's like distributive property. 3 to all of that, okay? One other thing I want you guys to see is that 3 right there, that regular 3, That's to the first power. So we are still gonna do 3 times that 1 right there. Okay. If you see a number next to a letter, that number has its own little power. It's its own little unit. So then we got 3 to the third power. X to the 2 times 3 is 6th power. Y 3 times 3 is to the 9th power. And then on bottom, we're gonna have Z. Make sure you multiply every exponent by this power over here. 3 times 3 is Z to the 9th. All right. So none of those are gonna simplify. It's just gonna be X to the 6th, Y to the 9th, and then on bottom, Z to the 9th. The only thing that's gonna simplify is 3 to the 3rd. What is 3 to the 3rd power? Jace?
27.
Correct. It's not 9, because 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times 3 times 3. Now, all of these terms right here, they're being multiplied together. Okay, so there's number 9. Questions on 9? Comments, concerns? Okay, let me move up to number 5. So we've got a power of a power again. Mariah, you asked for this one. So what's the power on that letter A? What exponent is that? 1. Okay, what about the B? To start off, it's 1. And then what about the negative 6? It would also be 1. Yeah, that number has a 1. And so because we're doing power of a power rule, we're going to multiply all of these powers by what's on the outside. So it's going to be negative 6 squared. It's going to be A squared. It's going to be B squared. You guys see how I put parentheses right here around everything?
Yes.
Do you think I want you to use parentheses?
Yeah.
So what's negative 6 squared?
No.
36. Negative 36.
Negative 36?
No,
You didn't
positive
use
36.
parentheses. It's positive 36, because it's negative 6 times negative 6, and negative times negative, positive. So it's 36, A squared, B squared. So there we go, that's number 5. Questions? Okay. So we're gonna be using some of these rules again today, and we're gonna have some new rules to do as well. So this is page 5 of your notes. Please turn there if you didn't already. I don't think you're gonna need a calculator today. So let's look at the left side, where we're gonna simplify using the quotient rule. So the directions say quotient rule over here. So it's gonna be 4 and 4, bless you. They're both x's for the base, so that means we can subtract the exponents. So again, it's gonna be top power minus bottom, 4 minus 4, which is x to the power of what number?
16.
4 minus 4 is
Oh, 0.
0.
Which would equal 1 since something.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Daniel, you're moving 2 spaces ahead of where we're at. All right, so let's do this one down here. Quotient rule again. Remember, it's always going to be top exponent minus the bottom. So it's 2 minus 6. Well, what is 2 minus 6?
4.
Which one? 4 or negative 4?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Y to the power of negative 4. So there we go. So over here, I did ask you guys to expand and then contract. So expand it out and then cancel. So on top, I've got x to the 4th power, which is going to translate to x
Times x times x.
times x 4 times. 4 x's. And on bottom, x to the 4th again, so x times x times x times x 4 times. And so we can cancel here as well. Remember, if we got an x on the top and an x on the bottom, we can just cancel them out. And what does that turn into? X divided by x. What number is that?
1.
That's just 1. So x divided by x is 1, right? Think about it. 3 divided by 3 is 1. X divided by x, 1. X divided by x again is 1 again. Cancel on x, cancel on x, it's 1 again. It's 1 again, okay? And so at the end, we canceled out all the x's, top and bottom, and what number are we going to be left with?
0.
1. And every time we canceled those out, x divided by x, it was just a 1. So it's going to be 1. A second ago, we did it with a quotient rule. We got x to the 0, and now we got 1. Kind of weird, but okay. Let's do the next one. Expand it and then contract it. On top, y squared, so y times y. On the bottom, y times y times y times y times y times y. I think I've got 6. And we'll do the same thing. We'll contract, we'll cancel. So 1y on the bottom cancels, 1y on the top cancels. Y divided by y is still 1. Cancel a y on top again, cancel a y on bottom again. Y divided by y, once again, is just 1, it cancels out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 y's left on the bottom, which will contract again to be y to the 4th power. That's just the bottom of the fraction though.
1.
What's left on the top, Daniel?
Wait, wouldn't it be y to the power of -4?
Well, it is over here. What would be left on the top? Because we canceled out all the y's on the top.
Nothing.
Nothing, okay. Emily? 1. 1? Why?
I'm gonna explain why, but I'm saying what.
Okay, Jason?
You silly kids.
I think it'd be y to the first power of 12.
We got rid of all the y's on top. There's no more y's. Y to the 0th power. We just did x to the 0 power. And we got 1. It's gonna be 1. It's gonna be 1. You're right, Emily. You're right. So if you cancel all the letters off one side of the fraction, you're just gonna be left with a 1. Which is weird, because a minute ago, we got y to the power of -4. And now we're doing the same problem over here on the right. We get 1 over y to the 4th. Huh. So let's talk about some rules. The 0 rule and the negative rule. Before I get too far into it, if you guys are giving me a final answer today, your final answer should never have a 0 exponent. Your final answer should never have a negative exponent. So if you see one of those, you're not done. So let's talk about the 0 rule. If we get x to the 4th divided by x to the 4th, well, we just did that a minute ago. 4 minus 4, that's going to be x to the power of 0. We also found that x to the power of 0 was 1. And that's the 0 rule. If you see a 0 exponent, any power that has 0 as an exponent is equal to 1. Anything to the 0 power, I don't care what number it is, it's probably going to be 1. There is one exception to that rule that you guys don't really need to worry about in this class. But every other number that you see, 9.2, 14, pi, e, I, if it's to the 0 power, it's 1. Even negative numbers, put them to the 0 power, it's 1. Okay? And down here you can see that x to the 0 is 1. For any x, that's a real number. Except 0. 0 can't be to the 0 power, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. So then from here, we've got y to the power of -4. And we just did that a minute ago. Y to the power of -4, that's equal to 1 over y to the 4th. So how do you remember that? Well, I think about parenting. I've got some kids now, and if my kids are being negative, I get tired of being around them. What I'm going to do, kick them downstairs.
Oh.
So if a kid's being negative, what do? Kick them to the basement.
Kick them? Oh.
Until they're positive.
Let's go.
Well, what if they're already in the basement and they're being negative? What do? You kick them back upstairs. Hopefully they'll be positive up there.
We put them in the cellar.
You kick them back upstairs.
You put them in the...
Let's calm down.
You bury him 6 feet under.
Okay, well, that's a little...
So guys, I'm using this as a way to remember. I'm not advocating for violence against children. I don't actually kick my kids down the stairs. But if you see a negative exponent, you got to kick that downstairs. So, any power with a negative exponent can be simplified by moving it to the other side of the fraction. If it's being negative upstairs, you kick it downstairs. If it's being negative downstairs, you kick it back up. And as a reminder, if you don't start with a fraction, make it. So even this y to the negative fourth, that is a fraction, it is over one, okay? If you see a negative exponent, only a negative exponent, kick it down to the basement. So x to the negative m, what are we gonna do? Kick it downstairs. Or 1 over x to the negative m, kick it back upstairs, which is just x to the m, okay? And that's only negative exponents. If you see a negative in front, or you see a positive exponent, you're not kicking that anywhere. You only kick negative kids. Jason?
I have a question. I don't know if this ever does happen. I don't think it's related to this. Would it be possible for a fraction to have a fraction in the fraction?
Yes. Yes. You will not see it till college if you choose to study math. And then when you do see it, your eyes will bleed.
Who would do that?
6 over 3 to over 4.
For real, who would do such a
It's what's
thing?
called a nested fraction.
Who would do such a thing?
1 over 1 plus 1 over 1 plus
Sue
1 over 1 plus.
What?
This is what you see when you do college math.
That's so easy.
I was thinking I'll be solved it.
I could literally solve that right now.
It's what's called a convergent series. It's going to converge to 1/2.
I could do it right now.
Is it 8?
It would just be.
So short answer, yes. That's what you're going to see.
It'd be 1 over 8. Final answer.
Maybe 1 over 7.
There's 8 there.
Yeah, including the top one, so it'd be 1 over 7.
Let me get you all back up here.
I swear.
Number
Not
1.
1 over 10.
Negative 9 to the power of 0.
1.
Anything to the power of 0 is 1. I do want you guys to take
Let's
a look
go.
back at the directions. Simplify each expression. Identify each individual power. What you're going to want to do today is go term by term, base by base, look at the individual powers, and then determine, is it going to stay where it's at, is it going to move, or is it going to become 1? Okay. The only ones that move are the negative exponents. The only ones that become 1 are the 0 exponents. So let's go over here to number 2. 3 to the power of negative 2. So that's a negative exponent. So what do we do with the negative exponents?
Kick him.
Kick them.
Downstairs.
It'd be.
Kick them
What?
downstairs until they're being positive.
It'll never happen.
Okay. And then 3 to the second power is going to simplify to be 1, 9. 1 over 3 to the second power, sure, I'll take that. Okay. All right, number 3, raise your hand. What does that simplify to be? Emily?
Let's go.
Number 4,
Just like
raise your hand. What do you see that we're going to do, Leo? Put it upstairs, and hopefully it becomes positive. That's y to the 5th over 1, which is just y to the 5th. So then that takes us to number 5. To number 5, we've got a couple different things to do.
Oh.
Okay. So what's one thing that you see that we're going to do with number 5? Raise your hand. Owen, give me one thing.
You're gonna send the negative 5 to the basement?
Is that a negative 5 exponent?
No. So you turn it into 1, so it'd be 1 over 2 to the negative 2, and then you send it over,
Okay.
so it's gonna be.
Yep.
It's gonna be
So,
2 to
time
the
out,
second.
Time out.
Or,
Time out. I appreciate your excitement, but we gotta stay focused.
I had it. I was.
So the 0 power, that's gonna do something. Jason, what are we gonna do with the stuff on the bottom?
we're going to turn it into a fraction. It would be 1 over 2 to this 2 squared.
It's already on bottom. It's a negative
Then we're
exponent.
going to raise it.
We're
It'd
gonna
be 2 squared.
kick it on top. So here's the thing. That negative 5 to the 0 is gonna be multiplied by 2 to the second power.
Huh.
Because we brought this negative exponent, we kicked that kid upstairs and made it positive.
4.
So negative 5 to the 0 power, what's that gonna turn into?
1.
1
Times 4.
times 4, which is just,
That's what I was gonna say.
okay. So what I want you guys to know is when you kick a kid upstairs, or you
Okay.
kick a kid downstairs, you gotta make sure that you include the multiplication here. There's no addition, there's no subtraction. it's multiplication. Okay, for number 6, I see a negative on top, negative exponent, another negative exponent on top. So what are we gonna do with those?
Kick him in the basement.
Kick them to the basement. There's already a y to the 0 down there. So what does that become? 1. So it's gonna be 1
You flip it.
times, kick them to the basement, make them positive, 3 squared. X to the negative 5th, kick them to the basement, make it positive. What do I have left on top?
Nothing.
Not
One.
1.
Oh,
If you eliminate
Always one.
or if you move all of the numbers and letters, you're still left with 1 right there.
I kicked him down.
It's gonna be 3
So it's gonna be
to the
1
second,
over
3 to the second,
3 to the
and
second
X to the
is
5. 9.
9. X. We have no more 0 exponents, we have no more negative exponents. So we're good. Try 7, 8, and 9 on your own.
Oh, gee, willikers.
Try 7, 8,
Is
9.
it possible to have like x to the x power?
Yes.
How do you kick a kid upstairs?
Very hard.
What's the boot?
Wouldn't you just hang him upstairs?
Focus on your work. 7, 8, 9. Try it on your own. Guys, the goal right now is just to try. Even if you get it wrong, that's okay. Just try, and then we'll try to correct it for them. If you get it.
Wait, that would be right. I'm not done. You never told us what to do if the number itself is negative. Do we leave it negative when we do the negative thing? Or
You
positive?
see how it's in parentheses?
Yeah.
Leave it in parentheses.
Here, trade me. Oh, jeez. Gee, willikers. Why'd you write on yourself? Throw my...
Alright, so number 7, it sounds like people are starting to finish. So, guiding through it, what did you guys see that we should do with number 7? Push it. That is a whole other connotation. And make it positive. Notice that I used the parentheses there. You think I want you to use the parentheses?
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's gonna become obvious. So if I simplify that, raise your hand if you think you know what it simplifies to be, Bowen?
16.
No.
1 over 16.
Yes.
Let's go.
1 over 16. If you got a negative 16, you did not use parentheses. For number 8. For number 8. Who can help us? Alright, Jason?
The 4x. Well, no.
What would become 1 right here?
X, so it'd be 4,
Oh, jeez.
it'd be 4 times, it'd be 4 times 1. 4 times 1 times y to the third power.
Okay.
That'd be 5y to the third power.
Really? Because 4 times 1 is 5?
Nope. That'd be
That's
4
good.
4y to the third power.
There we go. Now, that is a common mistake. I'm glad you were able to make it. 4 times 1, watch out for your operations. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay? And give me number 9. Daniel?
Obviously 1, since all of them simplify to,
That's what I
That
was-
whole
that's
thing,
what
the
I
whole
was gonna say.
parentheses is to the 0 power. Well, you don't need to know anything else. It's to the 0 power, so that's
I
1.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Alright. Go to, I did that to be scary to you guys.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly.
Well, go with that.
Oh, gee willikers. I am quite intelligent. Gee whiz. This homework is going to be challenging.
That's simplified. Yes, the zero wasn't
Look
there.
at the exponents.
This homework is going to be a bugger.
Or multiplier, divide.
Alright, so at this time, it is 21. That means we are about halfway through class. So your job right now is to go through 1 through 24. As a reminder, today I'm going to be giving you guys participation points. So if you're trying your work, if you're working most of the time, maybe you make good progress but you don't finish all the way, that's fine. As long as you're working steadily, you're going to get points. If you're on your Chromebook, last hour they found a way to get Pokemon Fire Red unblocked. So if you're on your Chromebook playing Pokemon, you're losing points. If you are on your phone, if you guys are doing something besides working on your assignment, you're going to lose points. If you finish, I will post the answer key so you guys can see it and go from there. Okay, so right now we're just working on this assignment. Do the best that you can. You can check your work on the answer key later.
Oh,
Did you have a question?
oh boy.
Okay. Watch out for number 4. Which has the 0 exponent? Is it 12?
This is going to be a challenge. Goodness. Oh god. I'm gonna make it smart come all over my desk.
That's a reference to a movie you guys have seen.
I've seen that movie.
Have you seen the first one?
Yeah. I love that one. That movie's so good.
Okay.
Phone made me get ink all over my desk.
No, I did not. It was an accident. Please just salty. Oh, my fault.
Guys, the goal is effort right now. That's why you're getting points for participating.
Oh. Two.
For number 4,
It's 2
the exponents.
times a negative 2. That's
Divide this with 12 also has a 0 exponent. No. So, modify your answer.
Really?
Buell.
Did we come across?
See, that's why you're a wrestler, Jason.
I know.
Do what you think is right.
This is power of a power. Do you, Mr. Grady, what car do you drive?
Why do you want to know?
Cause I want to see like your earnings, you know?
Your earnings.
Like
He's a teacher. I'm trying to figure out much.
Listen, if you look out of the parking lot, you'll figure out pretty easily which truck is mine.
oh, he's driving. Oh,
There you go.
I mean,
he's a goat. He drives a truck.
Alright, Chevy Silverado.
Ford Explorer. Wait, that's not a
He
truck.
is not a Ford person.
That's
He drives
not
a Chevy Silverado.
No, Mr. Greeley looks like he drive a Ram.
No, I really think he's a Chevy driver.
You're a Chevy driver. You're a
hey
you're a
guys,
Toyota.
you need to be working.
My fault.
Say that one more time.
2/3 to the power of 1 times the power of -2 out of algebra.
So what do we do with the power rule? Like there's a fraction inside?
It's fine if it's a negative and the power of the power
It
rule.
does not change the rule. It does not change the rule. You just have a negative now.
You're
Yeah.
gonna push stuff.
You definitely got the coolest car.
Why did you put the 3 at the bottom?
Is it times or
Does the 3 have a
so
negative?
S to the 16th?
So you kick it upstairs.
Man, this is easy, bro. You're playing it too much for me.
The 3's not being negative, so it shouldn't be in the basement. So the 3 doesn't move, but the 3.
Yeah.
Have you guys been noticing that your classes are getting emptier and emptier?
It looks actually quite full. It looks quite full today. It looks pretty full today. What, Katie?
Right, it's supposed to be sent out. Fix it. Yeah, fix it. Yes.
Okay. He always has a bag every day. It's so annoying. You don't need all that energy. Gosh.
You're not the only one that covers it. Where's your
What?
What?
Hmm? Not really. I hope you drop that bag and it spills all over your bag. The bolt the energy. Just dropped it. Put them all up in the basement.
Wait for Sarah to come back and then.
They are both negative.
You want to give it a shot? I think I have a pen.
Send them up. Send them up. Bring them back from the basement up. Now, how do I do that again?
That's all I've got.
Oh, okay. So we got 5 was a 1 over 3. What would
Guys,
you?
this conversation happening across the classroom. That's the thing that'll lose your point.
I've been saying slow
Katie, you've had
It's
6
the
minutes to start working.
it's
You
the
haven't even
bang.
done the easiest one.
It's the bang energy.
Okay, time to wake up.
You should never ever let Jason get an energy.
What?
Like bang or anything.
You're good. You did okay. Yes. You were very patient.
Yeah, I would. I go so fast. I just like.
That was number 1. Good. Try number 2. What do you see there? What about that? Try. The answer, please.
What? What the frick?
It should be closed already.
What? 9 to the first power. But it's a negative.
Why?
Oh, you.
Say base.
Really?
Yeah.
How to do the expand before we do the subtraction?
Did I ask you to?
No, because it looks like 14 would be.
Okay. Jaden. Stop it.
Huh? Bro, this don't.
Have you posted the
I had it scheduled to post at 12:30, and it is 12:31, almost 12:32. Google's being slow.
Oh my god. That's why you should use speed.
Bro. Who uses Bing these days?
Psychopaths.
What's in your mouth?
Turkey.
Turkey? Did you say jerky or turkey?
It could be
I
both.
think he said
Now we have
exactly
another
that.
food item that's been in this.
This is not fresh coded.
I'm gonna make breakfast like here. Make a whole sandwich.
Jaden, I'll bring you
I'm
some
gonna bring
toasted
like one of
eggs
those
tomorrow.
salad packages.
Alright, I'll bring
that
the
was, like,
Toasted eggies?
Alright, toaster.
Yeah, I'll bring you.
When's your birthday?
Who calls eggs eggies?
Are we in
Eggies.
school? Are we in school when I put like when your birthday happens?
Typically, my birthday is the first week of school.
Okay, so the first week of school, I'm so gonna bring you like an egg.
sit right
I'm
now?
gonna bring you a package of raw eggs and packages of boiled eggs. Oh, you.
Oh, you silly goose, you.
I'll bring you
Oh, my days.
a head of lettuce.
Mariah asking the real questions.
Oh no, you don't have to do
Oh,
You will.
you silly goose.
You will. You're losing points.
I still have mine.
Oh, jerky.
It's growing.
Oh my goodness, wait, now you're gonna have like little baby potatoes.
Must be scheduled for the future. Well, I mean, I told you to post it. There, now it's posted.
Did this not work, really?
Alright, the answer key is there. The answer key is there.
Oh, okay. C times, 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 C times.
You're not done if it's negative exponent. So you gotta take.
What we got? C times, C times, C times, C times, C times, C times, C. Cross one out. Cross another one, cross a third one, cross a fourth one, cross a fifth one, cross a sixth one, cross a seventh one. And you know you got 6. So you got C to the 6. That's the answer. Got it. Where'd he go?
How do you spend like there's a million on score
Daniel goes crazy in Fortnite. He'll crack anyone. He's cracked. He'll smoke anyone in Fortnite. Do you have a renegade Weedle? Do you have renegade Weedle? Jaden.
What happened? Wait, Bowen. What happened to Rizzo?
I gotta
Wait, what happened? Bowen, what happened?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't remember that.
What happened?
Javiana took him from me. Javiana took him from me. No, I'll find her in 7th hour. That's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's always.
I want more than more. Jaden?
Mr. Greedy. Oh, look at that.
Alright. Guys, have you seen this book before?
Yeah.
What if a plane explodes?
So they ask questions like that though, like what if? So the first one, you want me to read you one?
Yes.
What if I break it?
If you don't want to hear this, so the first question is, what would happen if the Earth and all terrestrial objects, all the things on the Earth, suddenly stopped spinning, but the atmosphere retained its velocity? So the atmosphere is still spinning, but the Earth is not. Does that make sense? You just did this?
It'd be an orb.
We did this today in first hour physics.
We die.
It would.
Go flying.
We died and the moon went 3
It would pop, and then the Earth would fly, burn into the sun or something.
So to make a long story short, the answer is that nearly everyone would die.
And then the moon would restart
There's probably people in space.
What's another one?
Well, the people in Earth are.
Yeah.
Gravitational pull. Gravitational pull.
That's not.
I love this construction.
Yeah, all 3 of us.
What?
Okay, here's another one. If you guys are uninterested, just work quietly on your own.
I'm very interested.
So what if I took a swim in a typical spent nuclear fuel? So nuclear fuel, they put it in these pools. It's very radioactive, right? They put it in pools just of water.
I have the
Nothing fancy.
answer.
Nothing would happen.
I have the answer.
Listen. Would I need to dive to actually experience a fatal amount of radiation? How long could I stay safely at the surface? Again, pool of water, spent nuclear fuel at the bottom, very radioactive. So the answer is, assuming you're a reasonably good swimmer, you could probably survive treading water anywhere from 10 to 40 hours. At that point, you would black out from fatigue and drown.
Yeah.
This is also true for a pool without nuclear fuel in the bottom. Spent fuel from nuclear reactors is highly radioactive. Water is good for both radiation shielding and cooling. So fuel stored at the bottom of pools would, for a couple decades, until it's inert, so it loses its radioactivity, enough to be moved into dry casks. We haven't really agreed on where to put those dry casks yet. One of these days we should probably figure that out. So here's a typical storage pool. The heat wouldn't be a big problem. The water temperature in a fuel pool can go, in theory, as high as 50 Celsius. 50 Celsius is about 120 Fahrenheit.
So that's like a hot tub. I'm gonna spend.
It's a very hot tub. Hot tubs are like 107, maybe 110.
I have the answer.
This is up above
Boiling
that.
water.
No, it's not. Boiling water is 100 Celsius.
Oh.
I have the temperature. I have the answer. I have the answer to this question.
But in practice, it's generally between 25 and 35 Celsius. Warmer than most pools, but cooler than a hot tub. Generally, that's what it is. The most highly radioactive fuel rods are those recently removed from a reactor. For the kinds of radiation coming off that, every 7 centimeters of water comes the amount of radiation in that. So based on activity levels provided by Ontario Hydro, which I guess is Ontario Power
Canada.
in this report, this would be the region of danger for fresh fuel rods. So down here, you guys can kind of see, I'll show you guys the drawing.
Wow.
So possibly less radiation than outside the pool. And then you guys can see those little lines right there. I'm assuming that's drawn to scale. So the safe doses of radiation are pretty far down there. Swimming to the bottom, touching your elbows to a fresh fuel canister, and immediately swimming back up would probably be enough to kill you. Yet, outside the outer boundary, you could swim around as long as you wanted. The dose from the core would be less than the normal background dose you get walking around. So just walking around on a sunny day.
That's on my
Not very
bucket
much.
list, is swimming.
In fact,
Ooh,
as
cool.
long as you were underwater, you would be shielded from most of that normal background dose. You may actually receive a lower dose of radiation treading water in a spent fuel pool than walking around on the street. Okay, so basically, long story short, as far as swimming safety goes, the bottom line is that you'd probably be okay as long as you didn't dive into the bottom or pick up anything strange. Now here's the twist. So this guy that wrote the book, he said, but just to be sure, I got in touch with a friend of mine who works at a research reactor and asked him what he thought would happen to someone who tried to swim in the radiation containment pool. He said, in our reactor, you'd die pretty quickly before reaching the water from gunshot wounds. So if you did try to swim in this nuclear pool, they would get you before you got it.
I was just trying to think of swim, man.
I have the answer.
There's the kick pool up in Kalamazoo. You can go there for free.
But I want like a warm.
I want a warm swim. Go to the Gulf of Mexico.
I have the answer to this.
Yeah.
So, if you fell into radiation, okay, if you fell into radiation, what color would the water be?
It would be normal watercolor.
Okay, cool. That's about a. What? Yeah, wouldn't it be green? Okay, let's say if the water's green, the radiation would pulse through your veins, and it would turn you into. It would turn you into the. It would turn you into the Incredible Hulk. And you would. You would escape all those bullets.
Radiation, if anything, would be a violet. Because it's more closer to ultraviolet.
Okay, fine. You'd be someone purple.
Someone purple. You'd be the purple Hulk.
If it had
You'd be yeah. You'd be the purple Hulk.
Not the
You'd
Incredible
be the
Hulk.
purple
You'd
Hulk.
be like kind of average.
You'd be purple Hulk.
Or any. You could be Hawkeye.
Instead of being the Incredible Hulk, you'd be the average Hulk.
You'd be the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the Incredible
No, it'd be the opposite. Because our brains would go mush from radiation. I'm purple.
But it's still going. How long has it been going?
47 minutes.
47. Dude, you got the whole class.
I got the entire hour.
Oh my god. That's fine.
The footage is crazy.
The footage is actually gonna be crazy, bro.
If you could send that to me, I would be most grateful.
I can't over Snapchat. Low key, I can only send stuff that's like 3 minutes long.
I can only send stuff that's a fucking minute.
You can send the whole video through Gmail. Yeah.
But they'll find it. They'll trace my Gmail.
No, just
Like,
use
why
your
are you
phone like on your phone.
They'll do that to me.
I mean, they wouldn't trace nothing.
And they're gonna find out we're talking about pushing kids downstairs.
Pushing. If your kid's being negative, just shove them down in the basement.
Pull
They'll
them
be
up.
positive after a couple
How do you
hours.
kick a kid upstairs? Just go.
You punt them like a football.
Oh yeah, you could. You could. They go through the door. They go through the. They go.
It
Bro.
could go all
They make
the
it. They make
way.
it through the door.
There's just.
You just yeet them like a football, bro.
Mine's in my house. 40 minutes. He wants those 50
48.
minutes.
48
He
minutes.
has 50 minutes.
I had the entire hour.
You actually? Hey, Jake, stop. Oh my goodness. Huh? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Do that later.
What the hell happened to this thing? Get in there, you.
Sorry, it's horny Tuesday, Oh my gosh! Bro, if John actually worked out.
3, 4, 5, 6 fingers.
What does he do with that? Wait. Let me write something. After you're done.
King Japan.
King John. Kick your kid. Oh my goodness. If they're being Dude, what is this abomination? Is that John?
Bro, John, if you worked
Overalls. He got overalls. Hard ass nips. Not the nipples, bro. That's
He's got the nips
Wait,
like
wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait.
Draw the Nikes. Bro, I ate like half that bag of jerky. That's how family
Did you?
Bro, that was $15.
$15 for 10,000 calories.
That was a lot of jerky. If they're negative. If they're 8. Yeah, for real. Legalize it.
Have a good day, see you tomorrow.
Bye, Mr. Creeley.
He goes, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Look at that. Tell me there is. Bro, look at this calculator. Bro, what happened here? Just really, someone was hacking your calculator.
Oh.
It's not.
What? I didn't even use that one.
Yeah, this ball like we're still going.
This Bowen like
Oh my goodness.
I had to run over here. Gee Withers.
Gee Willikers.
Gee Willikers.
Hi.
What's up, gang?
Oh, what gang you in?
the blue.
Hey, what's up?
Cut.
Hey,
What gang
what's up,
you
gang?
Yo, it's Kyle, guys.
Hey, you guys get invited to the party? Ooh. Yeah. Yo, I heard
Yo, what's up, gang?
you shiver your toe.